Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Popcorn Ready podcast channel. Today's movie review will be of the 2022 film Prey. This is a story about the Predator in the timeline of about 300 years ago, and it features Naru, a skilled warrior of the Comanche Nation, who fights to protect her tribe against one of the first evolved predators to land on planet Earth. Starting off, this is like an origin story of the Predator franchise, with the most notable film to date being Arnold Schwarzenegger's Predator film, the original, which is set a lot nearer to present day. I thought the director, Dan Trachtenberg, skillfully guided you through this film really well. Loads of lovely camera angles and a nice use of CGI, but not necessarily overdone. The scenery really complements everything really well. It heavily involves you into the wilderness and the timeline of the film. The scenery and the costumes in Prey were just on point throughout. Beautiful stuff. Moving on to the main star, we have Amber Mid-Thunder, who plays Naru. She's obviously a female Comanche warrior, and I really like how the film portrays her wanting to go out on her own, prove people wrong, but then also, strongly relays her identity to her tribe and just, what she wants to do for them as well. When watching the trailers of Prey, I was a little bit worried about the fight scenes and how they would relay in the movie as a whole, because it could seem a little bit far-fetched or a little bit unfair. But overall, I thought the fight scenes were pretty wicked. And I also really like how the Predator is slowly introduced in the film more and more, especially as it's hunting bigger animals each time. Before it gets to a fairly intense scene with a bear, I loved how a rattlesnake attacked the Predator in the leg, which is great because the Predator had his invisible cloaking device on, but the snake senses thermal heat to track its own prey, much like a predator does as well. A like and a dislike at the same time is Naru's creation of the yo-yo tomahawk. This seems like something a 5-year-old would try and then regret later that afternoon. But I think on paper it's a really cool idea, but just seems a bit far-fetched. Even when there's a massive 8 or 9 foot alien predator on the same planet as you. Another like and dislike is it tries to incorporate some of the cheesy one-liners that were made classic from the original couple of films. The first one's quite cool, but the second or third time's just a little bit overplayed for my liking. My favourite scene in the whole film is the war and fight scene between the Predator and multiple humans, Comanche and French. Really well done. Really good tense stuff and weapons and bullets and everything else flying. Really loved that 5 minutes worth of action. A couple of slight critiques. The ending, I think it could have been a little bit better, but was alright. And for some reason, the Predator in this film does seem to be a little bit more stupid than in previous incarnations in the other movies. In the other films, it always feels like the Predator's a silent assassin who's one step away and always outsmarting anyone that comes up against it. But this one was outsmarted multiple times by humans, and not very technologically advanced humans at that. But I suppose without the weaponry and stuff being there, it did need this for a sense of balance in the film. So, on to my ratings. Is it sweet or is it salty? And I'm giving this a mildly sweet review. 7.4 out of 10, people. This is probably my third favourite film after the first couple of Predator films. I think setting the timeline of the film 300 years earlier gives this film a real edge over a lot of the more modern and sort of spin-off films that have been done. It just feels a bit different. A breath of air to the franchise. As always, thanks for listening. Please smash that like button and hit that subscribe. Thank you.